Welcome to our latest interview, where we explore how organizations can transition from paper-based to self-service onboarding. Joining us is Barry Fenter, our product manager for digital onboarding, who shares his insights on transforming traditional onboarding systems into seamless digital-first experiences. So, why do you think so many financial institutions are still relying on manual or legacy onboarding systems?
That's a good question. Basically, there's a couple of reasons. It's legacy systems are normally very embedded into these organizations, and over the years they've had costly customizations done to them, so they're more and more entrenched, making them stickier and stickier and stickier. And then on the people side, there's also always a little bit of a resistance to change. They're worried that it could cause, changing to another system could cause disruption. There could be compliance risk that comes up. Staff needs to adapt to new processes. So basically, legacy systems are just deeply embedded and heavily customized. And then many fear that modernization could disrupt compliance or customer service. It's really not, in my view, not resistance to innovation. It's a little bit of risk aversion.
What kind of risks do these older onboarding processes create, especially when it comes to compliance, customer experience, and efficiency?
Yeah, sure. There's a couple of risks. On the compliance side, you're looking at manual errors, outdated checklists, or missing some big red flags. And then on the customer experience side, like always, there's very long waiting times, complex in-branch requirements, going from branch to branch, you get an inconsistent handling of the onboarding process. And then operational efficiencies, the stuff that nobody wants to do, these paper-based processes, really they require high manual effort. You need to fill in forms, and they're very hard to scale.
We touched on legacy systems a bit earlier, but as a follow-up, what do you see as the biggest barriers to modernizing onboarding systems?
There's a few barriers. Just to highlight probably a few of the top barriers. It's most probably just integration challenges. You need to connect these new tools to, sometimes older core systems, and different databases, because you've got a straight-through process now. Secondly, budget limitations. There's in today's world, onboarding investments really are competing with other priorities, inside the organization. And then change management. Your staff will resist the change. There would be some skills gaps that needs to be plugged. And it could disrupt your workflow. So in my view, to modernize, really requires both a technical and an organizational readiness. And the key here is executive sponsorship and a phased delivery.
What are some of the key benefits of moving from paper-based to fully digital onboarding platforms?
Oh, there's many. So the first thing is just faster onboarding, through real-time verification. Really sometimes going from days to literally minutes to onboarding a customer. A better user experience. Self-service options really reduce friction. And the ability to onboard directly from your phone without going into the branch. Then improved compliance. There's now built-in controls. You're not relying on people doing old compliance processes like IDV. There's full audit trails and really real-time screening. Lastly, I think what's a big benefit is just this ability to scale. You no longer have to, open up branches, to take higher volumes. People could generally onboard for your products anytime during the day, even when the branches are closed. So scaling it to high volumes is, to me, one of the greatest benefits.
How does automation help reduce bottlenecks or delays within legacy processes?
Interesting question. the first thing that comes to mind for me is the reduction of manual reviews. Your ID checks are now completely automated. Data capture is also not done by a human anymore and scraped by OCR and AI processes. And then your PEP screening are done automatically straight through at the back. No more looking up on an extra Excel sheet. Searching. Having a fuzzy search that's not working for you. Another role that plays really well in automation is just standardizing decisions. So you could have this consistent approach to onboarding. So with these standardized decisions, you really there's consistent rules and thresholds being applied to the onboarding process. And then I can also, workflows, the acceleration of workflows, really the elimination of these handoffs and paperwork and manual pieces, so really it frees analysts to focus on much higher value decisions.
When introducing new onboarding platforms, how can organizations make sure the integration with existing core banking or ERP systems goes smoothly?
Yeah, it's definitely not an easy task. So to make it a little bit easier is to look at sort of an API first architecture would be a first point for me. And secondly, definitely a modular approach or a phased approach. When you implement onboarding in phases, you tend to reduce disruption quite significantly. And I think, lastly, cross-functional collaboration between different departments. If you've got IT, compliance, operations, customer experience working really well together, there's a much smoother way to integrate these systems. But just to summarize it, API first platforms, phased rollouts, and just better collaboration between tech operations and compliance would help you smooth the integration effort between newer onboarding platforms and existing core banking or ERP systems.
I think we mentioned this earlier, but how important are staff training and culture shifts in helping teams adopt new onboarding technologies?
Yeah, change management, making sure people buy in. It's quite close to my heart. When you're implementing newer solutions, a large portion is to make sure that the people that use those systems, love using them and they get value from it. So when you train people, I always say train for outcomes. Link your training to goals like compliance goals, customer experience goals, efficiency goals. Appoint champions in your departments. Create these power users. And let them lead, the teams to success. Recognition and reward. When there's when there's successes, celebrate them. When you've completed a phase of the product, reward these teams. Recognize the effort that's been placed into this training, and lastly, just continuously, offer hands-on guidance, feedback loops, and give them the support they need. They're basically transitioning to newer onboarding technologies and ultimately a more mature process.
What kind of risks do financial institutions face when they move away from legacy systems? And what's the best way to manage or minimize those risks?
In my view, I think every migration project is difficult and has huge risks, specifically around data loss or corruption. Something that's normally a risk, that's not technical is process disruptions. A team might have to change their process a bit, and people need to get used to those processes again. And then you always risk the fact that users could reject the system. If the training isn't adequate, like we spoke previously, they could just not want to use the system. So, although there are risks, and those risks are real when migrating. I still believe they're manageable through planning, testing, and proper communication.
From a results perspective, what kind of ROI or measurable impact can organizations expect after modernizing their onboarding processes?
There's a lot. Again, similar to benefits, there's reduced onboarding time, as I mentioned previous, lower cost per onboarding or per acquisition of the new customer. You remember, there's fewer manual steps here, and you've actually got a reduced headcount. You don't have reduced. You don't have in-branch people and back office people. You have more straight-throughs. You definitely have a higher conversion rate. Obviously, because onboarding is really boosted to completion, so it's easier to get to the end of the flow. And to highlight maybe a last one, which could be, definitely stronger compliance posture. I mean, like, you're making fewer errors, you've got better documentation, and you've got literally stronger compliance.
And finally, looking ahead, how do you see onboarding platforms evolving to meet future demands in customer experience, compliance, and scalability?
I think for me, this is probably, as a product manager, one of the questions that's on my mind constantly, as we're evolving our solutions, to look towards the future. But at Cybrine, hyper-personalization is important to us. We feel that if those onboarding journeys could really be tailored based on, the channel that the onboarding journey coming in on, the risk of the customer, and also even the behavior of that customer. So any personalization we could do at the onboarding journey, I feel would, add a lot of value in the future. And then, there's a lot of new threats today. So having something like low-code configurability, so that you can adjust quickly and get to production, so that you can adapt to any new threat. I see that as high up on my list. And then real-time intelligence, device fingerprinting, intelligence from devices. Making sure you're integrating external data, checking if email addresses are correct, if telephone numbers are correct, and a whole list of other AI-driven decisioning systems that are out there. I think will definitely drive onboarding, going forward. So really, real-time, AI-enhanced, low-code, configurable solutions. And the key is to really merge KYC, AML, and customer experience into a single intelligent workflow. To me, is the future.